Hey, Vikings.com, it's winning formula time, and to have a winning game and a winning formula, you need a winning combination. We have it for you here. Ben Leber, former linebacker for the Minnesota Vikings, Gabe Henderson from the Vikings Entertainment Network, and I'm Paul Allen, and we begin here. Ben Leber played for some very good Vikings defenses, and they included the Williams Wall, Pat and Kevin, E.J. Henderson behind them. Now, into the Cincinnati game, Michael Pierce, Dalvin Tomlinson, Eric Kendricks. Why is it so important to be so strong there up the middle defensively?
Well, I think we all know it comes with stopping the run. And take all the other stuff aside as far as taking up blocks, double teams, all that stuff laid up to the second level. You got to stop the run. And where this team and this defense lacked last year was this interior pressure that we were giving up in the run game. And so I think those two guys, because they're so big and so strong, they're just going to push guys back. And we saw a little bit in the preseason just how important that is to create second longs, third and longs, and get them off schedule and off balance. Then you throw in the fact that linemen can't get up to the second levels quick. That frees up the linebackers to run in space. And if there's one thing that Eric Kendricks needs, it's just a slight second to diagnose what's going on, and he's going to go and make a play.
Yeah, and Eric Kendricks being arguably top 5 linebacker in the NFL, when he is able to play free and roam the way he wants to, there's no defensive linebacker that can play with the level of capability that he can. And I think Dalvin Tomlinson, Michael Pierce, if those guys can get hands on whoever their offensive line is. We know the Bengals offensive line, they're going through changes, they're going through struggles right now. If they can kill that confidence early on, I think it's a great day for us.
So now you take it a step farther, too, with these defensive tackles, and Sheldon Richardson is behind them. With Stefanski at 4.5 sacks. Last time he was here, he had 4.5 sacks. So I'm not going to put you guys on sack predictions, but, you know, you got Sheldon, Dalvin, and Michael Pierce. Ben, it's not necessarily the sack, which is great, forced fumbles, whole thing, but just the interior pressure getting at the feet of these quarterbacks. They hate it, right?
Well, it's disruption. I mean, that's the key word that I think that we are talking about is not so much, you know, how many tackles for loss, how many sacks, how many quarterback hits. It's how disruptive you can be. In no other game right now that I think is going to showcase that is because you have a quarterback in Joe Burrow that's coming off a major knee surgery. They don't move the pocket a lot with him anyway. He's not going to want to move around. So that interior disruption up front to make him uncomfortable is going to be paramount.
Now, when we discuss offense, with all due respect to Ben Leber, one of the great linebackers within the last 20 years of Minnesota Vikings football, I think we begin with Gabe Henderson, you know, where, I mean, this is, Ben scored a touchdown at Seattle in 2006, like the last time we won a game in Seattle. So he knows what scoring touchdowns is all about. But this was a Division I receiver for Liberty. And if you search online like everybody else should, Gabe Henderson YouTube channel, oh, these highlights, am I doing it right?
You're doing it right. 3 to the head.
Yeah, the 3 to the head with the touchdowns. My
Every
man
time I
over
scored,
there.
I hit 3.
Ooh, 4-2
Gotcha.
speed.
Gotcha. Wait, when did Liberty go to Division I?
We were Division
Is that
I.
recently?
Well, no, they were
2014.
playing.
My senior year, we went Division
No, wait,
I.
you were playing some Virginia, like Newport News high school team and running up and down on not Allen Iverson or Mike Vick from Newport News. But you're the offensive guy. You comfortable with that?
I'm comfortable with that. And I think this offense, we're going to have a great game against this defense that is still trying to prove themselves. We know the secondary is one of their weakest units for the Cincinnati Bengals. And our receivers, I think, are going to have a field day. PA, we know Adam Thielen, Eli Apple. Let's rewind back to January 5th, 2020.
Yeah.
Wild card game, 2019 playoffs.
Yeah.
Of course, we know the who dat is the Saints calling. Who dey is what the Bengals say, or their fans say.
Yeah.
I feel like after that Saints game, we were saying Eli Apple. Who dat?
Right.
This upcoming Sunday, the secondary, we're going to be saying, who are they?
Yeah. Well, when we leave Cincinnati, I mean, this is not your, lead pipe cinch leader here at Vikings.com. We're not the biggest touting organization in the history of the world, but who day? I mean, when we leave it should be who day.
Who day.
Now, this offense didn't score a touchdown in the preseason. We all three were at all the games. In that Kansas City game, we get down to the 10 inside of it. Quarterback doesn't call a timeout. Play clock's running down. That was as close as we got. So, Ben, with Dalvin back in it, JJ, AT19 was mentioned. Brian O'Neill, Covenant claps there for that extension. Man, is he good. No concerns or any concerns with the offense into this game?
Yeah, I definitely have some concerns because we didn't see what they looked like in the preseason. We all, right now, in all of the offseason, you look on paper and say, well, this team is good on paper. But every year rests on its own. It's a new chemistry, new dynamics. For us, we have a new offensive coordinator. It's going to be a challenge for him. This is a big-time challenge for him to put together 4 quarters of not preseason football, but actual football where he's going to ride the ebbs and flows of the game. What type of game is he going to call?
Right.
How is he going to get these guys to play with the synergy that they had last year? And you have an offensive line that's been retooled a little bit. So are there concerns for me? Yes. Because we have a good team on paper, expectations are high, but now you have to go out and prove it.
30 seconds, 15 seconds each. Curly wants predictions. So when it comes to Vikings players, this guy's going to have an interception. This guy will score 3 touchdowns, whatever. This guy will jump offside 2 times, not that one. Give us a prediction of anything from a Viking in this game.
I think Dalvin Cook rushes for over 100 yards this game. I know that's not a hot take, but the Cincinnati Bengals defense last year gave up 8 rushers that had over 90 yards last year. So I think Dalvin Cook will be number 1 this year that gets 100 yards against this defense that's still trying to prove themselves.
Go ahead, Ben.
You know who was really good in the preseason that I saw for just a little bit of time was Bashaud Breeland.
Yeah.
I think he's going to have at least 1 interception. I think he's going to make a few plays on the football. You look at Joe Burrow and where I think Joe Burrow is good. He can throw the deep ball. You have to look out for that. He's not afraid to throw in coverage. And I know that everybody thinks that he's an accurate quarterback. I think that he's not as accurate as people give him credit for. I think he gets it to the body of the receiver, but I don't think it's always placed specifically away from where the defender's at.
Yeah.
So that being said, Breeland was fantastic in being tough on coverage, very sticky, small windows, and he's a gambler and he plays with instincts. I think he's going to walk away with a fantastic game and 1 interception.
I didn't come in here to make a prediction. It's not my role. Curly's in my ear now saying make a prediction. How about this one? We had 23 sacks last year. We will have 25-ish% of those sacks in this game. We're sacking the quarterback 6 times in this game. You heard it here first.
Boy.
Daniil, 3. Hunter, 3. Welcome back, 9-9. Gabe Henderson, Ben Leber, I'm Paul Allen. That's your winning formula at Vikings.com.